In last week's video, I talked about the roadblocks of life, and in that video, I talked specifically about the practice of surrender. And I wanted to go into surrender a little bit more this week and also in next week's video. And the first question around the practice of surrendering is, why should I surrender to life? And this occurs a lot because our collective consciousness has this pattern where we are still conditioned to live very much in a fight energy. And you hear that all over the place. Fight for what is good, fight for what is right. There's this collective energy of fight still in our subconscious and in the collective consciousness. So the idea of surrendering, it's almost like someone's in battle holding that white flag up. And the idea of holding their hands up, I surrender, it seems like it's weakness. And so the practice of surrender has been viewed as a weakness, and therefore we have been going about manifesting and living our lives more with an energy of fight because that's considered more courage. And so I wanted to kind of break all that up and talk about surrender a little bit more. Why should we surrender to life? The answer is really simple. You have no choice. And you may protest what I'm saying, but eventually life always shows us that we have no control. Control is an illusion of the mind. And sooner or later, we all experience this. It usually happens when something painful occurs in our lives very quickly, very suddenly. So this will be when there's the loss of a family member, or when someone you love has been diagnosed with a devastating disease or a terminal disease, or maybe a relationship disintegrates very suddenly. Life has a way of showing you that control is simply a mental illusion. So, okay, if surrender is inevitable, then what does this look like? What does it look like in life? And I'll give you an example to see how surrendering is really important and how when you live under the illusion of control, life can really be very painful for you. So suppose you buy a new car and you're driving down the road in your new car, you're happy as a clam, and you stop at a stop sign. And suddenly, boom, someone rear ends you. And you just bought this car. So you get out of the car, and here's the difference between someone that understands surrendering, between someone that surrenders to life and someone who operates under the illusion of control. The person who surrenders to life will get out of the car, look at the damage that the car has sustained, maybe talk to the person that rear-ended them, but all of this done in a peace and centeredness to that person because they realize, okay, this just happened. We have to deal with it. Now, the person who operates under the illusion of control will get out of the car, look at the damage that the car has sustained, and then suddenly start kicking and screaming in various ways. And usually it could be anger or resentment toward the person that rear-ended them. So you can start screaming at someone. You can just be really, really angry at them. So look at the difference between these two people. They have both gone through the same life situation, but one person has created suffering. It's the person that operates under the illusion of control. Because now not only has that person been rear-ended and their car damaged, but they've added to that damage by now emanating anger and resentment toward another human being. They also emanating anger and resentment toward themselves. So all of these added layers on top of the initial event cause suffering. So you see how the difference between operating under the illusion of control and living life in a surrendered way, how this can be so powerful and a profound difference in your life. So there it is in a nutshell. Why should you surrender to life? You have no choice, and everybody will realize it. So start today. Open your hand, surrender to life. I'm going to go into how to surrender to life a little bit more in next week's video. Have a great week, everyone.